Hi, Virgo. Welcome to your love reading. Grab a warm drink, find a comfy spot, and let's see what Spirit has to say. Today, we'll be doing a reading regarding your love life. And if you don't have one, don't worry. I have something for you as well. The first portion of the reading will be for those of you who are involved with someone. The second portion of the reading will be for those of you who are single. Then we will finish off the reading with our self-care card and our affirmation card as usual. I will put timestamps in the description box below so you can jump around to whichever portion of the reading that you like. And this reading is good for beginning mid-January to the beginning mid-February. All right, let's jump right in for Virgo. So first portion of the reading here we're going to be doing for people who are involved in some way. So you could be married, you could be in a long-term relationship, you could be just casually dating, or you could be in a situationship, however it applies to you. But we're going to be taking a look at you, what's going on with you, them, what's going on with them, what's going on between you guys, advice, and the outcome should you follow that advice. So let's go ahead and jump right in. Oh. Okay. Interesting. All right. So we're starting off the reading here with your energy, what's going on with you, and you have acceptance. So it kind of feels to me that you've gotten to a place in your life where you're kind of like, just going to accept things for what they are, not, fight them so much. Because at some point we all kind of just learn that there's not much, we can't change anyone else, right? We can't change people. Yeah, that's exactly what this is. So you have the Nine of Cups, the Three of Swords, and the Sun. So I think you've kind of just gotten to a place in your life where you're just accepting people, places, and things for what they are, for who they are, for what role they play in your life. Because, you want to be happy and you want to be free. But you can't do that if you're constantly worried about what's going on with other people, right? And yeah, like I said, you want to be happy. So I think you've just really gotten to a point in your life where you're like, let them kind of energy. And also like, if they want to, they will kind of energy. So, okay. So there may be, like a little discontentment going on in your relationship right now. And that's totally normal. Like there's ups and downs, there's no highs without the lows and there's no lows without the highs, right? So, yeah. But in general, I feel like you're feeling more happy. You're feeling more happy now that you have kind of gotten to a place in your life where you're like, I don't care what other people do. I'm not going to beg anybody to treat me the way that I deserve to be treated. Like if they want to, they will. I feel like you feel like happier and more free now that you've kind of adopted that mindset. So that's really cool. So what's going on with them? They have grief. Four of Cups. Ace of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles. Okay, so recently your partner could have lost a job. They could have failed at something that they tried to start. Like maybe they tried to start a business and it didn't work out the way that they thought. Your person could have recently lost someone, and that caused them to like get an inheritance or whatever. But yeah, your person's going through some stuff here. Your person is going through some type of grief. So this is either the loss of a person or the loss of a life that they kind of imagined for themselves and the two of you. So either way, it's a pretty big hit to them. And so they're kind of listen, if they lost someone like a person, this is not for them. But if this was like a job or an opportunity or something else, it's kind of like like this card is like, he's like pouting, like, I didn't get that thing that I wanted, or I didn't, do this didn't, like succeed or whatever. So your person's got some stuff going on right now. Without even, okay. All right. So I kind of see, all right, let me pull some cards here on this, what's going on between you two. So what's going on between you two, you guys have freedom. And this is typically a very, very positive card, but I'm getting a very strange energy off of this. So just give me a second. Let me pull the tarot. King of Pentacles, Hangman, Seven of Wands. So this is a fairly strange energy. It's like the two of you are just not connecting right now, because this person is so focused on whatever this grief is for them that I think that they have stopped like prioritizing you and your relationship and like your home life and stuff like that. And they're just so focused on whatever these pentacles are for them that they're not seeing that like your relationship is suffering and that you're becoming defensive. Or sorry, that they're becoming defensive, which is really, this is so strange. This is like a really strange energy, because it's like they're letting things kind of, I don't want to say fall apart, because I feel like that's so dramatic, but it's kind of like they're letting things fall apart, but they're the one getting defensive about it. Like, you should be doing something. And like, I am 100% in the camp that relationships are never 50-50. There's always, like, you have bad days and you can only give 10% and the other person has to give 90, and vice versa. And you know what I mean? There's always so much going on, and different things. So like, we can't all be at 100% of the time. So, but it's really strange, because it's like this person has been giving very little to your relationship, or a lot less than they were before, for a while now, for a minute, okay? But I think they feel like you should be putting in the extra, which I completely agree with, except that I think that this has kind of gone on long enough. And you're ready to kind of like move on and be happy. And if this is like a person that this person lost, I wouldn't be telling them to get over it. But if this is some kind of job or opportunity or something that didn't go the way that they thought it was going to go, then yeah, at some point it's time to move on and kind of get back to all the regular things that you do. So I'm kind of feeling like this person put a lot of time and energy into something that did not turn out the way that they wanted it to. And they've let it affect your relationship by kind of, not worrying so much about how everything's affecting you, and not, like paying as much attention to you and stuff. But it's strange, because it's like they're the ones getting defensive about it. So that is very interesting. Okay, so your advice. Your advice is the doubt card. Let's see. 9 of Swords, 3 of Wands, Queen of Pentacles. Okay, so this may come off a little bit harsh, but this is exactly what I heard. Um, your advice here is to piss or get off the pot. And I'm really sorry if that's harsh. So, what Spirit is saying here is that you have a choice. You can stay with this person and work this out, or you can go. And like either way, your life will be fine. But what Spirit is saying here is that you need to make a decision. Either way, but staying in a situation where you're not happy or the other person's not happy or you're both not happy is not good for anybody, and it is just delaying the inevitable. So I'm definitely not telling you to leave your relationship, and I'm definitely not telling you to stay. It always is 150% up to you. But what Spirit is saying is that you need to make a decision either way so you can move on to the next portion of your life. So whether that is with this person or without this person, it is up to you. But Spirit wants to get things moving on to the next portion. And I think what Spirit is saying here is that like you are capable. You are more than capable of, doing either or. If you want to put in the work to make this relationship work, you're capable of doing that. You will find a way to communicate to this person your needs and your wants and vice versa, and you guys will, you know what I mean, be able to work it out. But if that's not what you want, you're more than capable of going out on your own. Okay? So what Spirit is saying here is that really it's up to you. Just make a decision. Don't sit around for 5 years and not change anything in the relationship and want to leave, and then you both just get more miserable and more miserable, right? So, sorry if that's harsh. I know, honestly, Spirit is not always gentle because not every message is gentle, right? So, all right. So the outcome, should you follow the advice, you have service. So this is really cool. Let me pull some tarot on this. Service, you have 8 of Cups, Judgment, and the Devil. Okay. Okay, so this is kind of complicated. This is kind of complicated. So I understand that this is the outcome, but there's also a side note in here. So I'll say that Spirit wants you to know that if you focus more on, and I know that this isn't always the right thing to do because we really do need to take care of ourselves. But Spirit wants you to know, if you kind of shift your focus a little bit off of yourself and onto helping those around you, that will do you good in this situation. So I know it is really hard, like especially when you've been with somebody for a long time, and something happens and the resentment builds, and it builds a little, and it's just tiny little, like little pebbles. And every day, one tiny little pebble, of resentment gets added. And then all of a sudden, it's the size of Mount Everest. And it feels like it's impossible to get over. But what Spirit wants you to know here is that if you take a step back, try to, accept and forgive and release, and try to empathize and help this person through whatever they're going through, that's going to do you more good than just than not doing it, basically. And that isn't always the advice, because I don't think that we should, especially as Virgos, like this is what Virgos do. We serve others, and then we get to these points in our life where we're like, I need to do what's best for me. And that is totally fair. And I kind of feel like that's where you've been at for the last little bit. But Spirit's saying, if you want to stay in this relationship and you want to make it work, you may have to flip back to the more service oriented Virgo. Okay. Anyways, so the outcome should you follow the advice, which was to make a decision either way. It's funny because Spirit's like, I said what I said, what I said. So it's up in the air because you have yet to choose. You have yet to make the final judgment call, right? And until then, you're just kind of going to be in this like not great energy, right? So really what Spirit is saying here is that the few, like nothing's set in stone, nothing's written out yet, because you still have to make a choice. So if you want to stay, I would, like focus a little bit more on this person, not completely like not focusing on yourself at all. Like this person's going to have to get to a place where they're able to give 50% or more again. But if you want to make it work, you're going to have to put in a little bit more for the next little while. And then if you want to leave, you are more than capable of doing that. This life is all about experiences, and I don't know why humans are so afraid of change. It really isn't that bad. Like when you break up with somebody, it feels like the absolute end of the world, like that whole first year, basically. But 5 years down the road, you're like, my life is so much better now that like, and I wouldn't change anything. I would have left sooner. You know what I mean? So like we get stuck in these loops of being unhappy with people, places, jobs, all kinds of things, because we're so scared to change. And the only thing you should be afraid of is not changing. That is way scarier than changing. Being stuck somewhere your entire life where you are not fulfilled and you are not happy and you are not living your absolute best life is the worst thing that could happen to you. Change is the best thing that could happen to you. So that's what I have for those of you who are in a relationship. So if you want to stay, you can make it work. If you want to go, you can also make it work, okay? It is really, really up to you. I will put in the description box below some timestamps so you can jump to past the singles reading and go to the end, to the affirmation and self-care. So I will see you there. Unless you're going to leave and you want to watch the singles reading, I will see you at the end. All right, so let's get into this for singles. Just have to finish picking up the cards and shuffling them. But what we're going to take a look at today for you guys is your energy and what you have going on, your future partner's energy and what they have going on, and then how/when will you be brought together. Okay? And then at the very end, we will do our self-care and our affirmation card. So let's see. For Virgo singles, what's going on with them, their future person, and when will they be brought together? Ooh. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh my goodness. Okay. Excuse me. Let's dive right into this. Okay, so we are starting off with your energy and what's going on with you, and you have the friendship card. So I think that you are out and about. Yeah, three of Pentacles, Knight of Cups, Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, so you're out and about. You're making new friends. I think some of you, after taking like a little break, maybe, have just kind of started getting back into dating and just like being out and being more social in general. And I gotta say that this is very good for you. This is very good for you energetically, spiritually, mentally, and emotionally. And I know as Virgos, it can seem very daunting and very draining when you're at home and you have to like get dressed and dress up and go out and do all this. Sometimes it seems like it's not worth it. And at points in your life, it absolutely isn't. It's, like the winters of your life. So it's like time to chill in your little cave and do your own thing. But right now is not that time. And it looks like you're kind of starting to dip your toes in the water again. So whatever you're doing, keep doing it. And when you get invited to places, go. Okay. Get out there, mix, mingle, hang out with people. You never know, right? I think some people, especially when they've been single for a long time, and if you are like spiritual or like intuitive or empathic at all, it's very easy for people like that to, start talking to somebody online, and then they're like, oh, I'm not going to end up with this person long term, so I'm not even going to bother. And that's okay if you choose, to not bother with people. But sometimes we have to realize that there's no harm in like going out for dinner with somebody. You never know, right? You could go out on a date with somebody and you're not going to end up with them forever. But you could just go on a casual date for dinner to see how things go. And maybe on the train ride home, you meet the love of your life. Like you know what I mean? Just because like you can't, like your soulmate is not going to knock on your door or bust through your front window. It is just not going to happen like that, right? So yeah, if you are already getting out there and doing things, good for you. If you haven't started that yet, that energy is absolutely available for you. And the universe is telling you, please go do that. All right, so we're going to move on to your future person's energy. And here is where things start getting a little bit tricky because they have guilt. Their card is guilt. 6 of Wands, 4 of Cups, 8 of Wands. This is really strange. This is like your person is currently feeling guilty that they're doing so well. So I don't know if this has to do with like an ex-partner, or maybe they come from a family, maybe they grew up in poverty and they're doing well for themselves financially, and that's causing some guilt. But your person is, it's funny because it's like they're doing so well. And I feel like this is like mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, with money and their career. It's like everything in their life is going really good. They're feeling good, but they feel guilty about it. So yeah, like I said, this could be like a family situation, or this could be maybe this person has an ex-partner that they have children with, and that ex-partner is not doing very well, like financially or mentally, and this person feels guilty about it because maybe they feel like, oh, because they broke up, this person's doing, not that well. It could be that. I'm more getting like the familial energy. So for most of you, this future person that's coming, I think that they didn't have a very good upbringing. I think that they they don't come from money at all. There could even be like some drug use in their family history, like neglect, kids going to foster care, stuff like that. I think that this person honestly did not have a very good life at all. And now they have worked very hard, gotten themselves to a place in their life where things are great, but for some reason they feel guilty about it, which is honestly like a natural part of the human experience. But it is unfortunate that they are feeling guilty. So, and here, okay, so we're going to move to how/when will you be brought together? And this is also tricky energy. So you guys have the worry card. Let's pull some tarot on this and see if I can figure this out. Worry. Seven of Swords, Knight of Wands, Page of Cups. Oh, okay, I see what this is now. Okay, so the answer to the question, how and when will you guys be brought together, is, and I know that this may not be like the best news in the entire universe, but stick with me here, okay? You're going to go through a few ups and downs while getting out there and casually dating and stuff like that, okay? There are just a few like tiny little, I don't even think there's lessons that you need to learn anymore. I think that you've kind of you've gotten to a really good place where you know what you want and you know what you don't want and you know what you will accept and what you won't. But it's, and I know this is like, it's funny, but it's really not that funny. But it's like the universe is like, oh, are you sure you learned that lesson? Are you sure you learned this lesson? Are you sure you learned that lesson? So that I think that the universe is going to present you with a few options before this person comes along, just to kind of test you to make sure you're not going to make the same mistakes that you did before and that you don't have to relearn those lessons. So, like I was saying earlier, sometimes intuitive and empathic people, they tend to say, well, I'm not even going to go on this date because I know by the way that person answered this specific question that I am not going to be with them long term. Or just I can feel it energetically, I'm not going to be with this person long term. And the universe wants you to go out and have experiences, but the universe wants you to see you in action, make the right decisions. So, I mean, if you're watching the singles love reading, chances are you've made a few mistakes choosing partners in the past. And that's totally normal. We have all been there. You know what I mean? But the universe, it's so funny because it's like, why would you be testing me? What kind of sick joke is this? I don't know. I don't have all the answers. But I do know that this is a message that is coming through. So you guys will, the universe will bring you guys together and make a way for you guys to find each other. But the universe wants you to get out there first. Go experience, go date, go out with friends, go to dinners, go to brunches, go to events with other people, and make the right choices in the moment. So if somebody disrespects you to your face, say something in that moment. Like, that's disrespectful. I'm not going to be treated that way. Like, have a great rest of your day. Please don't contact me anymore. The universe wants to see you stand up for yourself and make good, healthy choices for yourself. Okay. So that is a really, really cool message to come through. And I think that you guys are very close to meeting each other, like super duper close. I honestly think you just have to go on a couple like blah dates and the universe will be like, okay, here you go. Yeah, I guess they're ready. They've definitely learned that lesson. They're not going to let, someone treat them like that or do that to them again. So that's really cool. All right, so we're going to finish off the reading with our self-care card and our affirmation card. And this is for everybody watching. So the people who watched the like couples reading and for the people who watch the singles reading. So let's see. What is your self-care card for the next month or so? Oh boy. You are not the first sign that this has come out for. And it's so funny because a little bit of this energy was just coming out in this singles reading, but I didn't say anything about it because I just felt like, I don't know, I'm really shy when it comes to that stuff. I, like don't want to be just kind of like putting all that out there, but it is a part of adult life. And so it is what it is. Anyways, so your self-care card here is sex. So this could be with a partner. This could be by yourself. So if you came here from the couples reading, you might want to try. You might want to try a little bit of this. I think that tends to put things in perspective, and it helps, like release tension. So when we have sex with our partner, if they're like a very selfish lover, then we're like, that may help you make the decision whether to stay or to go. And then if you are staying and they are not a selfish lover, this will really help with you guys reconnecting and like releasing some pent up negative emotions. Okay. If you came here from the singles reading, get out there, absolutely carefully, be careful, be safe. But get out there and start, I'm not saying that you have to sleep with anybody. You don't have to this, but like kiss a few frogs before you decide, which prince is for you, I guess. Oh my gosh, that is so funny. I always get so nervous when those cards come out. All right, so our last card for the reading is our affirmation card. So what affirmation do Virgos need for the next little while? Affirmations for Virgo, please. I heal the habit of fear and I embrace the habit of love. This is absolutely perfect and beautiful for both readings. Because when we live in like doubt and fear and we think we shouldn't even bother doing this or bother doing that, it just kind of keeps us closed off energetically to the rest of the world. And that's just not a good place to be. We came here to experience life together as a species and as communities and families and all that good stuff. Okay. So one more time before we go, your affirmation for the next little while is, I heal the habit of fear and I embrace the habit of love. Absolutely beautiful, Virgo. Okay, that's what I have for you today. I hope this reading has been insightful. Until next time, remember, you're smart, kind, beautiful, and brave. Bye, my friend.